You know what they say. Keep it balanced. Keep it cute. But baby, my balance, it comes from above. So step light. Hold your head high. We gon' praise and still look fly. Weighing every season, heart on one side, truth on the other. Grace in my walk, glory in my cover. Step to the left, I'm aligned. Peace in my heart, made of mine. Wrist shining, Bible in my bag. Gold on my neck, Savior in my sweat. Born with the scales in my head. Still I lay it all in His plan. Measured by mercy, not fame. He called my star by my name. I'm a believer in the light, standing tall in my faith. Pretty smile, holy style. I got heaven on my face. When I move, when I glide, it's the grace in my stride. Balanced by the blood, that's my scales and my pride. That's my scales and my pride. Hands up high, heels on beat, praise in the club, praise in the street. Halo over this laid out lace, a little gloss, whole lot of grace. They see the charm, but He sees the core. He opened doors I ain't asking for, so I two-step, testify, slide every turn. He by my side, I'm a believer in the light, standing tall in my faith. Pretty smile, holy style. I got heaven on my face. When I move, when I glide, it's the grace in my stride. Balanced by the blood, that's my scales and my pride. That's my scales and my pride. Whoa, left, right, spin it, back, stay true. If you know the Lord, let Him shine. Heart in the clouds, feet on the floor. We give Him the praise, then we give Him some more. I'm a believer in the light, standing tall in my faith. Pretty smile, holy style. I got heaven on my face. When I move, when I glide, it's the grace in my stride. Balanced by the blood, that's my scales and my pride. That's my scales and my pride.
Yes. Hey, everybody. This is your girl, Creole Butterfly, Libra Butterfly, Coco 9 to 9, coming to you from the great state, Kentucky, where the women are beautiful and the horses are fast, and the horses are beautiful and the women are fast. It just really depends on what you like. I want to say happy birthday, happy Kinsey, happy bar mitzvah, happy anniversary to Lottie Dottie and every darn body under the sound of my voice. And you know I'm about for the what? The smooches. So, you get a smooch, you get a smooch. Everybody gets a smooch. Okay, let's do that again. Come here. You ready? There you go. All right. Feel better today. All right. Hoping you're having a wonderful day. All right. Let's get into this. This particular story. Let me pull it up so you all can see it. Hold on. 1 minute second. I want to give you a visual to look at, okay? Okay. Here we go. Let me make sure you all can see that. I was over there watching, looking at Jay Dunn's live that she did that I missed this morning because I was asleep, but I was watching it. So I'm going to tell y'all, go over and give her a support because that was interesting like a mom. I have to finish it up. Anywho, it's under Dundada. That's the channel it's on. So again, y'all, let's talk about some things, okay? This story is particularly interesting to me for many reasons. One being by me being a widow and I'm single now and everything, of course, you kind of sort of with your toe in the dating world, okay? And then this is a man who is taught to protect and serve. He's also a Black man, okay? And this is weird, Okay, this is weird. Let's go here. Okay. So the thing said he swore to protect and serve while secretly spreading HIV to women. Pensacola police officer Pierce Cotton, okay, 32, arrested. Now you a police officer, but you getting arrested, okay, for not disclosing HIV statuses before sex. All right, so let's go. Because I really want to talk about this. I really, 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 really do. Okay, because he's a handsome young man. Allegedly. Let's put it like that. But it is out there, y'all. But we're going to protect ourselves and say allegedly. Allegedly, Pensacola police officer Pierce Cotton, 32, has been arrested after investigators say he had sexual intercourse with another person without disclosing that he was HIV positive, which is illegal under Florida law. Now, Florida don't care if you marry your cousin, but they dang sure don't want you having sex with nobody. You didn't tell them your status. That's a whole nother issue. Go back and look at my community wall. Moving on. Okay. Let me see. Okay, authorities say Florida statute requires anyone who knows they are infected with HIV to inform their partner before sexual contact so that their other person can make informed decisions. That's only logical, y'all. Don't take, I always tell people, don't take my choice. Do not take my choice. If you see that we're, getting to that point to where disclosure is necessary, let's have the hard conversation. Give me the choice of whether or not I still want to deal with you or not. And I'll give you the same. It's weird. Okay, anyway. Cotton was charged with a third-degree felony, booked into jail Friday morning, and later released on a $10,000 bond the same afternoon. Can you imagine? Here you are with your fellow police officers, you're a police officer. They got to come and get one of their own, and for a reason of HIV. Make that make sense. Like your whole private life is out here now, bruh. All the police officers know we had to go get Officer Doohickey because he's spreading some juice everywhere. Okay, the house in Virginia. He's building houses in Virginia. It's everywhere. Okay, you get a house. You get a house. Everybody get a house. All right. In the truth, moving on. Okay. The Pensacola Police Department has placed him on administrative leave while internal affairs investigation is conducted to determine the circumstances surrounding the allegations and whether any additional violations occurred. The case is still under investigation. Authorities have not yet said if more potential victims have come forward. Y'all, you have to be a special kind of nut, okay, to pass around the gift that keeps on giving. Even though, thank God, in this day and age, the house in Virginia is not a true death sentence like it used to be, still the stigma to it and the medicine, they're making it hard. They're making it hard to get this medicine. Okay. This government, this particular government people ain't caring no more about people like that. And they're making it hard. All right. For people to get that medication that they need, which is really, really sad because what you're trying to do is barter with people's lives. You want to, help get people out of here quicker than their time. And I think that's sad. But again, let's go back. That's what people voted for. So now everybody who voted for him and they're so upset and all this and stuff and yada yada yada. This is what y'all voted for. Okay? And I always think this is weird to me. It's just weird to me, okay? And everybody wants to make this man a Christian and all this, and he even said out of his mouth, he doubt if he's even going to heaven. He said it out of his mouth. But everybody wants to, oh no, he's a Christian and he's doing, no, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. But I did pull up some information and I wanted to talk about this along with this, okay? It's called PrEP, all right? And hold on. I hear a lot of times T.S. Madison and Craig, they be talking about prep. Shout out to the Fag Talks and everything. And prep, I was trying to get a definitive definition on what it is. And some of you all may, already know, what prep is, okay? And it says, what does prep pills do? PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis, is a daily pill that prevents HIV, our house in Virginia, by blocking the virus from multiplying and establishing a permanent infection in the body. It builds up a protective barrier in your bloodstream and cells, reducing the risk of getting HIV, house in Virginia, from sex by roughly 99% when taken consistently. Okay? When taken consistently. So you have to take this drug consistently. And I remember T.S. Madison admonishing Black women to start, if you're sexually active in any capacity, for you to start taking PrEP. Because the men are out here doing some things of the things, and people are not aware of what is going on. Okay. So, that's just something that I think is a good thing to do if you're sexually active. You might want to get on PrEP. You might want to. Okay. Uh, y'all, we are at a point in life, you just got to watch things and people and their motives. Okay. You just got to, because this is sad that a man of his stature. Do you know how you hate to how you have to hate women? You have to hate women, okay, women. You have to hate them in order to do that, like to play Russian roulette with their life. But and again, I want to go here, okay. Now we never know when that bug is gonna hit us, and we want to lay it low and spread it wide. Okay, we just never know. Let's just keep it 100. You never know when that's gonna happen. It's easy to say to abstain, to abstain, abstain. Am I an advocate to abstain? Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. And everything. And I just feel like I got something to offer somebody. It's just me though. Okay. I think highly of myself. I do. The person that get this baby gonna know they got something. Do you heard me? I was with one man for over 30 years. Do you know how good that sound? Do you know how good that feel? To know you only have one peen, that your stuff is still so new. You only had one peen. Okay. And since him, you've had none. So I'm a renewed virgin. Okay. So therefore, okay, I'm sitting on my big old pedestal over here, and people hate that. I'm sorry you ain't me. Point blank, period. I am sorry you're not me. Okay. But yeah, so now that I am back in the let's date line and all this and stuff, then we'll see. But because I've been somebody's wife, I really cannot see me just laying it low and spreading it wide for anybody. I can't do it. Okay. Um, I just can't do it. Now everybody has, a couple of them nights, one of them nights that, maybe you go somewhere and the feeling is right and you and this person and blah blah blah, and then y'all have a secret rendezvous or whatever. Everybody, I've had one of those nights. Okay. Um, yeah, I've had one of those nights, but it was before I got married. However, I still had one. But I'm just saying, y'all, wrap it up. Don't leave it to chance. If you know you're very much sexually active, carry your own condoms. Be your own proactive person. Carry your own condoms, your own spermicide, whatever else you need to carry it. Okay? I'm just saying, because we don't want to have another predicament like this, to where some man that you're supposed to be able to trust and everything, who's supposed to keep the law, is now not doing it because he himself is not abiding by the law that he has been sworn to keep. It just is I don't know, y'all. I feel like I said, I feel some type of way about this. I really do. Um, because I'm I'm for people. I'm for people. And I'm for love and all the things that come with that. But this was weird. This right here is kind of crazy and it was weird. And no. Okay? That's all I'm saying. No. Uh so whenever you all get a chance, I want you all to take a look at this and take a look at this and just let me know because I really want to know what y'all think about this. That's why I still got it up on there. Look at him. He don't even look like he's dirty. Let alone look like he, he just don't. So anyway, that was what I really wanted to discuss with everybody today is to protect yourself. Even my gay and lesbian family, protect yourself, wrap it up. Okay. It's not worth it. It is not worth it at all. Now, let me go, since we're still on the HIV, which is home in Virginia, let me show y'all something else that came across my informational desk. Okay. Hold on. Let's go. I'm going to show y'all something. I don't know if y'all knew this either. La 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 la. Oh, yeah. Turning from the sublime to the ridiculous. Wait a minute. To the redonkulous. Right here. I don't know how many of you all have seen this, but I'm going to pull it up. And thank you, Boo, for sharing this with me. Since we're talking about, all the things of the things. And I brought up same sex as well. Okay, let's go. Oh, let me make sure you all can see it. While y'all trying to run to other countries, just be careful. That's all I'm going to say. Just be careful while y'all trying to run to other countries, okay? Right here. It says, and I quote, if you do gay stuff in Uganda, you get life in prison. So you can be gay, just don't play it. Don't play. Okay. So right here it says Uganda's controversial anti-LGBTQIA plus law has drawn widespread international criticism after introducing some of the harshest penalties in the world, including life imprisonment in certain cases. Human rights groups say the legislation threatens basic freedoms and safety, while supporters claim it reflects the country's cultural values. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. I am at a point I can't make people care about other things that they don't care about. It's just they don't. They put everybody on here on YouTube as being some kadonkies, clowns, and so But yeah, y'all better wake up and smell the Maxwell. I don't drink Maxwell, but that's why I'm telling y'all better wake up and smell it. Okay. Now, let me see. Let me add this to my thing before hold on. Wait a minute. And save. I'm just trying to save this and update it before I forget, y'all. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back. Okay. I don't know if y'all saw this or not, and I don't know if this is true. So it's why we got our allegedly going at the bottom. It's a reaction video. Okay. All the things of the things. So let me go to this one. Hold on. I'm going to change this. I'm going to go to this one right here. Okay. There we go. Fair use, commentary, reporting, educational purposes, allegedly. So now let me go back over here. Make sure y'all can see it. Okay. Jamie Foxx claims hospital tried to clone him with a white version of himself. Now, I don't know if this is true. Again, I said allegedly, but I thought it was entertaining because we all thought when we saw the first picture of him emerge that was not him. Okay. But whatever, it could be a joke. You never know with Jamie. You got to kind of, side eye him. Okay. It says Jamie Foxx opened up about his 2023 health scare. He says while in the hospital, he saw a white version of himself walk into his room. He became convinced these MFs are trying to clone me. The staff had to call in a psychiatrist who just calmly suggested lowering his dosage. Never know. Stranger things have happened. What you think? Okay, what you think? Okay. And last but not least, hold on. Okay, let me pull this up. Okay, come on. Why won't it let? Come on, here we go. I was going to say. It didn't want me to be great. Hold on. Okay. See how when you're being racist, sometimes it don't pay out for you, not like you think. But let's take a look at this really, really quick, and then we're going to be out of here.
Ma'am, who are you and what are you doing in this house?
This is my home. What seems to be the problem?
We got reports of suspicious activity. I need your ID.
On what legal basis?
Just cooperate, ma'am.
The morning coffee was still steaming when Judge Patricia Williams heard the commotion outside her front door. She had been preparing for another day on the federal bench, reviewing case files for the afternoon sentencing hearing. The sound of heavy footsteps on her porch made her pause. Then came the aggressive knocking that would change everything. What happened next would destroy 2 police careers, send shockwaves through the justice system, and prove that even those who wear the robes of justice are not immune to the ugliest forms of prejudice. The body camera footage from that Tuesday morning would rack up over 25 million views, spark congressional hearings, and result in the harshest penalties ever imposed for racial profiling in her state's history. Judge Patricia Williams was no ordinary target. At 52 years old, she had spent the last decade as a federal judge appointed by the president himself. Before that, she served 8 years as a district attorney, prosecuting some of the most complex criminal cases in the region. Her reputation was spotless. Her record on the bench was respected by attorneys on both sides of the courtroom. She lived quietly in an upscale neighborhood, drove a modest sedan, and was known by neighbors as the woman who organized the annual block party and helped elderly residents with their groceries. That Tuesday morning started like any other. Judge Williams had woken early, gone for her usual jog through the tree-lined streets of her subdivision, and returned home to prepare for work. She lived in a beautiful colonial house she had purchased 3 years earlier. Complete with a manicured lawn and flower beds, she tended herself on weekends. Nothing about her routine suggested drama or confrontation. At exactly 7:23 inches the morning, officers Daniel Reeves and Marcus Thompson pulled into her driveway. They were responsible.
Now, if that woman's lived there for 4 years, y'all know that the neighbors knew her. And do your neighbors know your name? Okay, everybody know this woman. And she jogs and stuff too. Come on, quit playing. Quit playing. Play with somebody else. Play with your food. Don't play with me. Okay, I'm just saying. Let's finish this up. Let me see. Now, we ain't going to listen to the whole thing. We're going to fast forward some.
Responding to what they claimed was a suspicious person report. Someone had allegedly called about a black woman who didn't belong in the neighborhood. Someone who had been seen entering and leaving the house at strange hours. The problem was that no such call had ever been made. What actually happened was this. Officer Reeves had been driving through the upscale neighborhood on routine patrol when he spotted Judge Williams returning from her morning jog. Something about seeing...
Did y'all hear that? No call was ever made. He lied. He created it. I told y'all that's what happened with Breonna Taylor. They lied. I told y'all that. Anyway, let's go.
A successful black woman in athletic wear, clearly comfortable in this affluent area, triggered something in his mind. He radioed his partner Thompson with a fabricated story about a suspicious person report and requested backup. This decision would prove to be the most expensive mistake, or perhaps a delivery person. Instead, she found herself face to face with 2 uniformed police officers, both with their hands resting on their belts in an aggressive stance. Officer Reeves immediately demanded to know who she was and what she was doing in the house. Judge Williams, confused but maintaining her composure, asked if there was some kind of problem. Reeves ignored her question and repeated his demand for identification. When she asked why they were at her door, Thompson stepped forward and said they had received reports about suspicious activity at this address. This is where Judge Williams made a decision that would prove brilliant. Instead of immediately revealing her position as a federal judge, she decided to see how these officers would treat someone they perceived as having no power or status. She calmly told them this was her home and asked what specific suspicious activity had been reported. The officers couldn't provide specifics because there had been no actual report. Reeves stammered something about someone not belonging in the neighborhood. Thompson added that they needed to verify she had a right to be there. When Judge Williams asked if they had a warrant or any legal authority to demand entry into her home, both officers became visibly agitated. Officer Reeves told her that her attitude was suspicious and that cooperative citizens wouldn't ask so many questions. Thompson warned her that obstruction could lead to arrest. Judge Williams remained calm but firm, stating that she was simply exercising her constitutional rights in her own home. That's when Officer Reeves made his second catastrophic mistake. He pushed past Judge Williams and entered her house without permission, claiming he needed to check for other occupants. Thompson followed, both officers now illegally inside a federal judge's private residence. Judge Williams did not resist, but she clearly stated that they were entering without consent and without a warrant. She pulled out her phone and began recording. The moment that camera came out, Officer Reeves exploded. He demanded she stop recording immediately. When she refused, he grabbed for her phone. What these officers didn't know was that Judge Williams had installed a high-end security system just 6 months.
Okay, come through. I told y'all need inside cameras as well as outside cameras. Come on now. Come on.
Months earlier, every angle of her front porch, living room, and kitchen was being recorded in high definition with crystal clear audio. Every illegal entry, every violation of her rights, every word they spoke was being captured and automatically uploaded to cloud storage. The footage would later show Officer Reeves snatching the phone from Judge Williams' hands and throwing it across the room. It would show Thompson searching through her personal belongings without any legal justification. It would capture them demanding she prove she lived there while they stood illegally in her own living room. But the most damaging footage was yet to come. When Judge Williams asked for their badge numbers and the name of their supervisor, Officer Reeves lost complete control. The racial slurs that poured out of his mouth next would end his career and land him in federal prison. Didn't know their place. They told her that fancy houses and expensive neighborhoods weren't for people like her. They said she was probably dealing drugs or prostituting herself to afford the mortgage. They used language so vile and hateful that when the footage was eventually played in court, several jurors visibly recoiled, documenting everything while maintaining remarkable composure. She never once raised her voice or responded with anger. She simply repeated her requests for their badge numbers and supervisor contact information. When the officers finally finished their illegal search and found nothing because there was nothing to find, they prepared to leave. But Officer Reeves wasn't done. He told Judge Williams that if he ever saw her in this neighborhood again, she would be arrested for trespassing. He said the homeowner, whoever it was, would be contacted and told about the suspicious black woman trying to break into their house. That's when Judge Williams finally revealed who she was. She walked to her home office, retrieved her judicial credentials, and placed them on the coffee table in front of both officers. The look on their faces when they realized they had just spent 20 minutes racially abusing a federal judge in her own home would become legendary among law enforcement training circles. Officer Reeves went pale. Officer Thompson started backing toward the door. Both men suddenly found themselves unable to speak. Judge Williams calmly informed them that everything they had just done was recorded, that they had violated multiple federal laws, and that she would be filing complaints with every relevant authority before the day was over. Have you ever seen someone's entire world collapse in real time? Drop a comment if you've witnessed a moment like that. The officers practically ran from her house, but the damage was already done. 23 minutes of footage showing 2 police officers committing multiple felonies against a federal judge. The evidence was ironclad, the violations were clear, and the consequences would be swift and devastating. But Judge Williams
One of the
was
best things
just
about this is to know your rights. You know, it's to know your rights. And a lot of us don't. I don't know everything. But
security footage from Judge Williams' home system, crystal clear video that showed every moment of the illegal and threats. They presented evidence of the fabricated suspicious person report that had never actually been made. Judge Williams testified for 6 hours over 2 days. She walked the jury through every moment of that morning, explaining how her constitutional rights had been violated and describing the fear she felt when armed officers invaded her home. She spoke about the humiliation of being told she didn't belong in her own neighborhood, and the anger she felt listening to racial slurs in her own living room. Her testimony was calm, professional, and utterly damning. Here was a federal judge, someone who had dedicated her life to upholding the law, describing how 2 officers had trampled on everything she stood for. The jury hung on every word. The defense attorneys tried. Reeves' lawyer argued that his client had been following his training and responding to what he genuinely believed was a suspicious situation. The argument fell apart when prosecutors showed that no suspicious person report had ever been made and that Reeves had admitted to fabricating the initial reason for contact. Thompson's attorney tried to claim his client was just following his partner's lead and hadn't understood the full scope of what was happening. That defense crumbled when prosecutors played audio of Thompson actively participating in the racial abuse and illegal search. The most damaging testimony came from former officers who had worked with both defendants. 3 retired cops took the stand to describe a culture of racism within the department and specific incidents where they had witnessed Reeves and Thompson targeting black citizens. One former sergeant testified that he had tried to report concerns about both officers, but had been told by supervisors to mind his own business. Expert witnesses explained the legal standards for police conduct and detailed exactly how every action taken by the defendants, the jury through the Fourth Amendment protections that had been shattered that Tuesday morning.
Fourth Amendment. Get to know it, love it, live it, like it. I'm going to start studying it. Fourth Amendment, okay?
The defense case lasted less than 2 days. Neither defendant took the stand, probably on advice from their lawyers who knew their clients would be destroyed under cross-examination. Character witnesses tried to paint both officers as good men who had made mistakes, but their testimony rang hollow against the weight of evidence. The jury deliberated for 8 hours across 2 days. When they returned, the verdict was swift and complete, guilty on all counts for both defendants. Officer Reeves was convicted on 7 federal charges. Officer Thompson was convicted on 6. The maximum combined sentence they faced was over 20 years in federal prison. The courtroom erupted when the verdict was read. Family members of other victims wept openly. Judge Williams sat quietly in the front row, showing no emotion but clearly vindicated. The defendants' families looked devastated, finally understanding that their loved ones were going to prison for a very long time. But the criminal convictions were just the beginning of the consequences these officers would face. The sentencing hearing took place 2 months later. Federal Judge Robert Chen, no relation to the prosecutor, had reviewed every piece of evidence and every victim impact statement. He had presided over hundreds of criminal cases, but he said this case stood out for the brazenness of the constitutional violations and the complete lack of remorse shown by the defendants. Judge Williams was allowed to give a victim impact statement before sentencing. She stood at the podium and spoke directly to both defendants, who couldn't meet her eyes. She told them that their actions hadn't just violated her rights, but had damaged the relationship between law enforcement and the community. She said their behavior had made it harder for good officers to face racism. She also spoke about the broader impact of their crimes. Every black citizen who heard about this case would wonder if they were safe in their own neighborhoods, their own homes. Every parent would have to explain to their children why some police officers might see them as threats simply because of their skin color. Her statement lasted 20 minutes and left the courtroom in complete silence when she finished. Judge Chen sentenced Officer Reeves to 15 years in federal prison without the possibility of parole. Officer Thompson received 12 years. Both men would serve their time in federal facilities far from their home state for their own protection as much as anything else. Convicted police officers don't fare well in prison, and everyone in the system knew it. The sentences sent shockwaves through law enforcement nationwide.
Anyway, y'all, I just wanted to share that with you guys as to end on another note, okay? I love you guys, and remember, no matter what the test, always do your best, okay? So yeah, to all of my butterflies, thank you for your support. Always.
From Kentucky to the world,
and I will always bring you out good
to see another scale.
And to the people, I got 2 people that are sub to me and unsub, sub to me and unsub. It's always 2. It's always 2. For you 2 people that are sub and unsub, sub and unsub, sub and unsub, can you just stay away? I'm tired of looking at your numbers. For real, just stay away. Okay? I appreciate you. Thank you.
Butterfly, spread them wings, girl. Yeah. Yeah. Born to shine, leave a balance in her soul. Creole roots deep, got that heart of gold. Butterfly in motion, grace when she fly. Every room she step in, the stars multiply. Dr.Creole, wisdom with the style. That Kentucky vibe, make the world smile. Energy, crown sitting high. Royal Libra season, can't nobody deny. Creole butterfly, Libra queen tonight. Glowing like the moon in that southern light.
From Kentucky fields to the city dream. She the vibe, she the balance, she the queen supreme. Smooth with the talk, yeah, she calm the storm. Butterfly wings, transformation form. She lifting up hearts with the words she say. A Libra queen guiding us all the way. Hey, Kentucky pride, rhythm in her vein. Creole fire running through her name. When she walk by, the whole crowd sing. Long live the queen, let the bell of love ring. Yeah, butterfly, don't you slow it down. Dr.Creole in the royal crown. Balance in the spirit, love in her hand. Libra queen, ruler of the land. Creole butterfly, Libra queen tonight. Glowing like the moon in that southern light. From Kentucky fields to the city dream. She the vibe, she the balance, she the queen supreme. Yeah. So spread your wings, let your soul